So you should have your organizers, everyone. And we're going to continue writing about the bunny rabbit that we read about in our passage. We're learning the steps. Remember, we're learning the steps. What are we learning? The steps. Because when we learn the steps on how to write informational...
Who is laughing and giggling? It's you see those circles? It's those classmates.
Someone keeps getting off. Mrs. Gomez, are you okay? All right. All right. So we have to learn the steps because then you can write about anything that you want. So this week, we're reading about bunny rabbits because it's almost spring break. But you can read about anything, any animal, not just an animal. You can read about any real thing in this world and write about that. Okay, so we're following the steps. All right. Let me share my screen. Hello, everyone. Hello, Miss Lasham's class. Hello. Hello, Miss Alonso's class. All right, let me share my screen. Hey, so you have your organizer. Remember, an organizer is very important because sometimes I cannot keep all of the information in my head. I'm a grown-up and I can't do that. I need my notes to help me. So that's why we have our organizer here. And remember, step one, we're learning the steps. So what is step one? Everybody say step one. Get organized. Did I see you doing that? Do it one more time. Ready? Step one, get organized. We got our paper organized. Then step two. Ready? Say step two with me. Step two. Who or what is in our story? Oh, this is not a story. Who or what is in my writing? Who or what is this going to be about? Okay, let's say that again. Who or what is this going to be about? Ready, go. Who or what is this going to be about? Oh, thank you so much. I see you guys with your arms. Okay, that's step two. Step three, what's the big idea? Ready? Step three, what's the big idea? Okay, let's repeat that. Step one, ready, go. Step one, get organized. Step two, who or what are we writing about? Step three, what's the big idea? Let's point to our head like this. What's the big idea? You know, big ideas come from our head because our brain is in here. What's the big idea? We also say big idea. We also say main idea. So we could say, what's the big idea or main idea? Let's do that. Okay, step three, what's the big idea or main idea? We'll do it like that. All right, so those are the three steps that we've learned so far from yesterday. So we're going to keep going. Now, we also learned yesterday that we have the main idea up here, big idea, main idea, and then we have details, 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 details. Conclusion, let's point to our boxes and say that so we remember. Okay, we're going to say main idea, details, details, details. Conclusion. Ready, go. Main idea, details, details, details. Conclusion. Let me see you. Ready, go again. Main idea, details, details, details. Conclusion. All right. So now we're ready to do some of our details, remember? Now, this is the article that we read together. This is the little passage we read together yesterday. This gave me some great details. You remember some of them, right? But what if I read something else? What if I read another passage that has other details? Well, if you read both in your class, let's say you're doing a report, an animal report, and you have to read not just one passage, but you have to read two or maybe even three passages. Well, that's fine. We just read it and we pull out the most important information that we want to include. If you're doing an animal report yourself, then you get to pick out what you think are the important information, important details. We're doing this together this week, right? So I'm going to pull out the important details that I'm going to include that you will also include. But I'm hoping that maybe on the third detail, you can choose your own details to put in there. Okay. But right now we're going to do first detail. Okay. Oh, even before I do that, let's finish up our main idea. Okay. So far, here's what we have. We said the subject is rabbits. Another way to say rabbits is what? Be a bunny. Yeah, bunny. You know, I used to think that bunny was for a baby rabbit. I used to think that, but you know what? I was wrong. It could be called a bunny or a rabbit because what did we learn in this passage? It says that a baby rabbit is called a kit. Wow. A baby rabbit is a kit. So we could say rabbits or we could say bunnies. And we said that the big idea, the main idea, was that they're interesting. That they're interesting. Well, they can be interesting animals. They can be interesting creatures. Different ways to say it. So now I want to say my sentence. This is really important, boys and girls. We can't just write the words. We have to say it and practice saying it because I want to change it to be the fanciest sentence possible. Okay. And the way I do that is to say my sentence. Now, this one, this S, remember what this one is? Setting. So now, where are rabbits? Rabbits, where do they live? There's lots of places that they can live, huh? Rabbits can live in your backyard. Rabbits can live in the meadow. Rabbits are found like on the hills and the mountains. Maybe they're in the desert. They might have some at the zoo too, right? Like we can look at different animals at the zoo. They could be at your school. Have you seen rabbits at your school? Yeah, sometimes we have rabbits that are living in the they create holes, you know, and a burrow, and then they go in there. Lots of different places, but you know what? This article didn't really talk about a specific place that they live. So I'm going to choose in nature. How about that? In nature. Okay. We don't want to just say that rabbits that are ones that we see at school are interesting. These are the ones that are in nature on Earth. So we can do something like that. Okay, so let's do that. Are you ready? I'm gonna draw a circle. Go ahead and draw a circle. And that's gonna be our Earth, you know, in nature, on Earth. So here's what I do to make it look like Earth. I make a couple of squiggly lines like that. And one on this side. So this is like the ocean of the Earth. And then here's the land of the Earth. Okay. It's okay if it doesn't really look like the Earth. It's okay. I know it's the Earth. And then I'm going to draw trees like this. Like my trees. Okay. Trees. Oh, maybe I'll draw another squiggly line so it looks like the trees are on the land. Okay. That. So this is, I can say on Earth, or I can say in nature. So you can choose. So watch what I do now, okay? I'm going to say on Earth, rabbits are interesting. I might change it to in nature, rabbits are interesting. All right, let's say it together. Let's try on Earth together. Ready, go. On Earth, rabbits are interesting. Now, I don't have the word are in there, but I can't say on Earth, rabbits interesting. That's not a sentence. We want to make it into a sentence. Okay, remember we did that last time too. So we're going to say on Earth, rabbits are interesting. Okay, are you ready? Let's say it together. Ready, go. On Earth, rabbits are interesting. Let's try a different one. We'll say in nature, rabbits are interesting. Okay, ready, go. In nature, rabbits are interesting. You got to choose the one that you want to use. Are you going to do in nature or are you going to do on Earth? So I'm going to write them both down right here. And I want you to write them up here, whichever one you want to choose. On Earth or in nature. Go ahead and choose the one that you want to to use. I'm going to choose in nature. So I'm going to just select like this, in nature. Okay. You choose one. Now, if I change my mind later, that's okay. I can change my mind. I'm just taking my notes right here, but I can change my mind when I'm doing my sentence. In nature, rabbits are interesting. I'm going to say that. I want to add, maybe I want to add something else. Well, interesting what? Interesting animal? Interesting creature? Rabbits are interesting animals. Rabbits are interesting creatures. I like that. Rabbits are interesting critters. That's another word, critters. All right. So you can also choose one, whatever you want to use right there. Okay, here's the 3 that I just said. In nature, rabbits are interesting animals, are interesting creatures, interesting critters. You choose one and write it down right there. Okay, choose one and write it down. If you want to write more than one, you can. I'm going to put animals. And I'm going to write creatures. I'm going to write both of them because I'm not sure which one I want to do. And I like both of those words. If you can fit it in, go ahead and write both. If you can fit all 3, go ahead. But make sure it doesn't look too messy where you can't read what you wrote. Okay. All right. Now I'm actually doing, because we learned 3 steps, right? And we're doing step 4. We're working on step 4. We haven't even done step 4, but you know what? You know what step 6 and 7 is? Step 6 and 7. And I'm doing it right here. I'm doing it a little early because I like to do it as I'm writing. Step 6 and 7 is adding fancy words. Look at these fancy words. And also putting our punctuation, our period, our question mark. Question mark, I like to go like this. Question mark. And I put in my ear, listening to the question. Exclamation point. Exclamation point. Like this, because it's a long, tall, right? So I'm going to do that right now too. In nature, rabbits are interesting animals. What would I have there? Is that a question? No. Is that a statement? It can be, yeah. Is it an exclamation? It can be, but I'm going to do statement. So I'm going to put a period. Everybody put a period right there. Practice your sentence. Okay? Practice your sentence. You can practice it by yourself, but your teacher should be able to hear you practicing it. That means practicing means I'm going to say it out loud. Do you yell it out loud? Do I have to yell it? No. Say it quietly, but loud enough so that when your teacher walks next to you, they can hear you saying it, okay? All right, so we're going to practice. In nature, rabbits are interesting animals, period. On Earth, rabbits are interesting creatures, period. Okay, practice saying your sentence. Which one are you going to use? Practice saying your sentence. All right. You'll have more time to practice with your teacher after we're done with our lesson, okay? All right, I'm going to take these off. Let's go ahead and put some details. Oh, and one of the things I'm going to have you guys do, because we are almost, did you know you're almost in 2nd grade, boys and girls? Almost. We're almost in April. And then we have April and May. Then you're out of school, and then you're going to be in 2nd grade. Do you know what that means? That means we need to add more details in our writing. So what I'm going to have you do right now is you're going to take this paper, and I want you to fold it in half like this. Fold it in half. Put your finger right there, right? We fold it in half. You guys are almost in 2nd grade. We have to add more details. Almost in 2nd grade means that you're not writing too big in these boxes anymore. You know how to write a little bit smaller now to fit some information in the box. And look what I did. I folded this paper, and now I have 2 boxes. And so these 2 boxes are going to help me organize my details. I'm going to put one detail here. And you know what? I'm going to put a detail for that detail. Oh my goodness. Amazing, because I can see you guys are ready to do that. We're going to do, now I know if you're having trouble folding, your teachers are going to come and help you fold it. Maybe you have a partner next to you who can help you fold also. Okay, but teachers can come and help fold it. Doesn't have to be a perfect fold, but you do want to make sure that it's almost even because you want to make sure that you have enough space to add your information. Great job. I love it. Thank you. Oh, yes, yes. Good job. All right. So one of the first things that we want to do is go back to our passage and we're going to reread a little bit. We're going to reread. I'm not going to reread everything. I'm going to just scan it a little bit. I remember that there was some information over here. Oh, I like this one. There are over 50 different varieties of bunnies. They come in all different colors, some with short hair and some with long. I think that's really important information that I can put in my writing. There are over 50 different varieties. Wow. Okay, so let's write this down. We're going to do this. Over 50. 50. Let's write 50. Well, I don't see everybody writing. I already wrote it. Come on, everyone. There you go. 50. Over 50. So I'm going to put an arrow. More than 50. Over 50 or more than 50. Over 50 of what? Candy canes? Easter eggs? No. Rabbits. So I'm going to draw a little rabbit again here. And we don't have to take too long to draw. This time, maybe I'll flop the ear on one side like that. Okay. Over 50 rabbits. Over 50 varieties. Oh my gosh, that's a fancy word. Varieties. Can you say that? Varieties or types. Over 50 kinds. Those are all different words you can use. There are over 50 kinds, types, varieties of rabbits. Wow. Which punctuation can I use on that one? Should I use a statement? Should I use a question mark? Or should I use exclamation? I think I'm going to use exclamation. Show me exclamation. Thank you. I'm going to use exclamation in this sentence. I'm going to put it right here. There you go. There are over 50 different types of rabbits. Now, could I add a little more information? I can. So that's what I want you to practice doing. There are over 50 different types of rabbits in this world. Oh, that's fancier. There are more than 50 varieties of rabbits on Earth. Exclamation. You see how I could add? I could add more information. I want you to practice saying this sentence right now. Okay, you can say it to your teacher, say it to your neighbor. Go ahead, say this sentence. There are oh my goodness. Okay, and I'm going to have you continue to practice this with your teacher and add more detail, okay? There are over 50 different types of rabbits living in our world. Wow, that's fancy. Okay. And I think that's exciting. So exclamation. Now I'm going to add a little more detail about that. It told us. Well, what do you mean? What kind of things are different? Well, this one said they come in all different colors and some have long hair and some have short hair. Okay, so here's what I'm going to write on here. They come in many colors. So I'm going to add more detail right here. So you know how I'm going to do that? I'm just going to put a little dot. You know, sometimes grown-ups use these little dots to take notes. So I'm going to put many colors. And maybe an example, another example was long or short. Okay, can you write that down? As best as you can. Long or short. It talked about hair. Long or short hair. I'm not sure how to, I was going to try to draw hair, but I think hair is kind of hard to draw. So I'm just going to write it down. After this detail, I'm probably just going to have a statement. Okay, it's going to be a statement sentence. So I'm going to put a period there. Okay. All right. Excellent job. So far we have our main idea sentence. We have one detail sentence right here and another sentence that's going to be a detail for this detail. Oh my goodness. That's what second graders do. We have more details that we add to our writing. Okay. All right. So I'm going to have you practice. So for example, watch me. I'm going to practice. And then I'm going to have you practice just for about 5 minutes after we're done with our lesson. And then we'll continue tomorrow. Okay. Don't spend too much time today. We did enough. We used enough of our brains for our writing. In nature, rabbits are interesting creatures. Period. There are over 50 different types of rabbits that live on Earth. Exclamation point. They come in many different colors. I could stop right there, or I could say they come in many different colors with long or short hair. Oh my God, that's a really fancy sentence. I might say they come in many different colors and can have long or short hair. Okay. I want you to practice your sentence. Before you write your sentence, it's always important to say your sentence because we might not know exactly what we want to write. So today's homework, well, not homework, you're not doing it at home. Today's classwork, right after we're done with our lesson for just about 5 minutes, you're practicing your sentences with your teacher or with somebody next to you. Okay, I want you to practice. Practice means say it out loud. Nobody should be sitting there like this or like coming up with sentences on your own. Look at your notes, point to your notes, and come up with your sentences, okay? Because not everybody's sentence will be the same. It can be a little different. All right, great job. Tomorrow, we're going to finish up our informational writing, and we're going to have a raffle tomorrow too. So make sure you come tomorrow. I will see you all in the morning. Have a great day today.
Thank you, Mrs. Joe.
Bye, Mrs. Joe.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.